Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Friday Harmonize to Energize. I am your host. My name is Terry Matthews. I work here at the Scottsdale Jin Shin Jyutsu office in Scottsdale, Arizona. So welcome. I hope you've been having a good week and continue to do so. For new people today, particularly warm welcome. Jin Shin Jyutsu, or Jutsu as it's perhaps properly pronounced, is an art of harmonizing life energy in the body. And we do that by placing our hands on safety, what we call safety energy locks, which are vortices of energy which contract and expand, allowing energy to move up and down pathways left and right of the spine. So good. Now today's practices are based on helping to harmonize and strengthen our knees. Sometimes we find through our daily activities our knees hurt us, and these are very important because what we call the regeneration flows, kidney, liver, spleen in particular, move through the inside of the knees. We've got the bladder flow moving through the backside of the knees, large intestine through the outside, all the major flows going through there. But importantly, our knees are giving us that energy to breathe and be flexible. And so, as I always do with these practices, we're going to use the concept of the 36 breaths, which Mary Burmeister, the master of Jin Shin Jyutsu, used to allow different frequencies of energy to step down from energy dimensions above the head to energy dimensions below the head, or above the waist, below the waist. Above the head, the energy is more subtle. Below, it's more dense. So it's kind of spiraling down. And the knees, as they be here, like center from the hip line down, also represent waistline. So waistline is mind in Jin Shin Jyutsu, all our thoughts, and our words, how we express our thoughts. And oftentimes when the thought becomes a word, it maybe gets stuck because words don't come easy when we're going through varying degrees of stress, or sometimes they come too easy and people don't stand under us. And if that makes sense, then you can plate, sit, and juggle jam. Right, so without further ado, this is how we do the practices, and I'm going to show you the slides. So back in the day, as I often say, when I was publishing these newsletters, Experience Jin Shin Jyutsu, do we know that we all have the innate power to help and heal ourselves? On this particular occasion, I plucked the quote from page 19 of What Mary Says by Mary Burmeister. There are no victims, only volunteers. That's a great album by Jefferson Airplane, by the way, if you're into them. So, there are no victims, only volunteers. So, we volunteer to be the cause of our own issues by our thinking, our words, and our deeds. So how can we harmonize them? Well, coming up next is 4 particular ways that we can practice to help harmonize issues that might arise with our knees. I mean, you could get out the oil and just squeeze it all over your knees, bit of butter here, there, and massage the knees, and suck in some of that juice into the bloodstream, and maybe they're well oiled. This way, we're working at the pranic level, the breath level, the light level, and we begin with either left or right index finger. Then the famous 11 and 3 and 15 actually. So change to lock 3, third thoracic vertebrae on the spine, pull away, and hand in the groin, which is the 15, left or right. And then we can hold, ignore the Well, actually, it's saying the high 19s, which help the 10s. I also want to mention here that the same side 9 will help the same side knee. So you can also slip down from the high 19 to the 19. I don't know why I didn't do that, actually. Or you can hold high 19s and opposite high 1. Or you can hold the 19 and the 1. Now I know why I didn't do it, because it's more than 4. All right, well, 4 is a window to let more light in, so that's why we do 4 practices, because we want more light to come into our bodies, right? So enough of this merriment. Don't have too much fun, can we? When we breathe out, we're allowing energy to move from safety energy lot 4, which is the occiput at the back here, occiput, base of the skull, through the 15, which is in the groin, to the big toe, and you all know where your big toes are, right? It goes moving 4, 15 to 9. Sorry, 7. Good Lord, it's the 9s. End of a cycle, beginning of a new. I always confuse that with the 7s. Victory, perfect life power. If you want to know Jin Shin Jyutsu, by the way, start contemplating the meaning of the safety energy locks. From 7, then it goes back to 15 and back to 4 on the inhale. We let go in order to let go of what we don't need, all those boulders on our shoulders. And then we inhale to purify what we've just created to begin letting go again. So it's a continuous let go to grow. So let us begin sitting up straight, drop shoulders, smile if you wish, and hold the left or right index finger. And hello, Pamela. And now we're going to examine, inspect, detect any area of the finger that might be a little more tender than the other. Often a good place to begin, or just hold the whole finger. Exhale, close eyes, block out sensations, turn off your cell phones, put a little sign on the door saying scram, I'm doing something else. And then just let go. And we're breathing out all the way down to our big toe through the 15, and then back up, 7, 15, 4. Doing that 9 times, so 8 more times. Here we go. And as we feel the energy tumbling down to the feet, feel your connection to the ground beneath. And as the energy begins to move through you, pulsing just like the blood pulse, or at least that's what we're listening for, a pulsation. And when you feel a pulsation from head to toe, and you feel it in particular in that index finger, you will know that the energy and the blood are flowing in harmony. And that's a good thing, as the blood carries all those juicy things that we actually need to grow, and the energy contains, at the light level at least, everything at the subtle level before it becomes dense. So you name it, the light contains it. People say lighten up. I say lighten down and up. Let the light come through you, down, in you, because you're in it already, but we don't allow it to percolate through us. And then allow it to purify you, heal and calm you, nourish you. And the light is, showing us, if you will, highlighting those areas that maybe need a clean out. And then it gets on and does the job. If we do our bit, which is let go and allow, surrender. Ah, yes. The energy percolating, and maybe you're noticing some sensations around your knees, left or right, or both. Sometimes when we experience sensations, it feels uncomfortable. Breathe through it. Sometimes no pain, no gain. We have to learn to be warriors. I believe. Unshakable heart. Jin Shin Jyutsu is an art of compassion. Compassion percolates through the heart. Unshakable compassion with ourselves and with others. And then our knees will allow us the flexibility to bend, like that image on the Facebook page of the branch bending with the breeze, the willow. Because if we don't, we get a little brittle and we might snap. When we snap, sometimes what comes out isn't always harmonious. I'm not saying you shouldn't be righteously angry. I'm just saying the stiffer the energy is, the stiffer the response is. So if you're feeling a little stiff in your knees, get a whiff of the light. Allow the light to just move through you, spiral through you, melt the resistance within your knees. And the liver, kidney, spleen moving through the knees will help you breathe more easily. These will help us feel supported, help us move forward, help us to dance the rhythm of the spiral through life. Okay, when you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just slip into the neutral zone. Be the observer of how you feel at that particular time. And just allow it to be that presence that you are with. And then let's look at the second practice, 3 and 15, either left or right hand. Find the threes, go to the spine, pull out, third thoracic vertebrae, and then the hand going to the groin. And maybe just hang it out like a coat hanger, or hang on to it like a coat hanger. And breathe out. Excuse me. And this is always a good flow to do before you do any kind of self-help, because it's like an escape route. And Mary Burmeister, always used escape routes before she started her process of flow with people. Always want to make sure that there's somewhere for the energy to go, an escape route. 15 and 3 will act as an escape route, opening the 15s. And therefore, allowing the energy to percolate through the knees to the toes, and then from the toes through the knees to the 15s to the floor. 7 more times. What? Easily does it. Feel the pulse. Can you feel the pulse? And then as you reach the 9th exhalation, inhalation, just relax into wherever you feel at the moment, however you feel, and just become aware of the extent to which the energy is moved between your hands and then to your knees and beyond. Beautiful. So third practice, high 19s, and we can hold them both at once, or we can hold them separately with the same side. High one, or both. And you're going to get both helping the knees if you hold them both. So let's do that, because it opens up the 10 and the 10 helps the knees. Here we go. 9 exhalation, inhalations. Spiral of beautiful light, opening up your energy pathways through the safety energy locks, enlivening stagnant energy to allow it to move. Pain is often a sign of stagnation in the body. When our knees are aching, it's probably because we have some stagnation somewhere along the energy pathway, and maybe in that exact spot. Breathe. Breathe through the knees. Breathe in cosmic purified energy, healing, nurturing, and comforting you. And then letting go what you don't need, and feeling that connection with the Mother Earth principle beneath your feet, beneath your toes. Way to go. And then the 9th exhalation, inhalation. Settle into where you are. See how you feel. Are your knees still needy? Or is the energy flowing through them easily? So last but not least, high 19 and opposite high 1, or 19 and opposite 1. You choose, left or right. Sit up straight. Breathing out. Let us begin. 9 exhalations, inhalations. Easy does it. I'm going to swap over. So last minute reminder, no particular way of breathing in terms of out of the nose, out of the mouth or anything. It's of an exotic nature. Just what comes naturally to you. And then as you step into the 9th exhalation, inhalation, congratulations. You have completed 36 breaths, and you can give yourself a hug, and this will help release your breathing even further. We mentioned at the beginning the knees can help us breathe more easily. So can these 22s here, knees and knees, and the fingers onto the side here of the shoulder blade. Congratulate yourself, you've completed the cycle of 36. 3 and 6 is 9. End of that cycle, beginning of the new cycle. You're not who you were 36 breaths ago, unless you were holding on. And you'll know because your shoulders will still really, really give you some grief. Second depth, my friends, keep those shoulders free. Lung and large intestine, small intestine, gallbladder, umbilicus flow need to flow through those areas easily. Easily. Yes, they would help with blood pressure projects too. Because when we're stressed, we're holding on. We're frightened normally. Blood pressure goes up. Yeah, 15 and 3. Index finger, of course, harmonizing kidney and bladder, which is part of harmonizing blood pressure via the salt levels in the body. So yes, Elizabeth, good question. All right, everybody, I hope you're feeling harmonized, or a little more harmonized, and a little less stressed. So now, thank you very much for joining me. I'll just give you a quick look at what's coming up in Jin Shin Jyutsu's world of classes. The study groups with Sarah, Maria, and Jill are still carrying on. I believe one started again today. So you can always register today, and they'll give you all the latest timetables. The classes are offered every 2 weeks, and replays are available for previous classes. Register today. Beginning September the 17th, I guess that's next Friday. The 9 months of creation and the basic rhythmic pulse of life with the splendiferous Anita Willoughby Wallaby Woo from New York. Here's all your times in EST, September 17th through 19th, 10 a.m. to 12, 2:15 to 5. Includes 3 months of online replay access, and that's true of all the online classes. There's always 3 months of online replay access. Organized by Deanna Nikaido and Justin McClure. Here you go. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Then if you've missed a class, you can get off your tush and you can click on here and you can get any previous classes at the replay fee, which is the same as the ordinary fee. But again, you get 3 months, did I say that, of online replays. All right. And one more thing I'd like to mention. I could have actually clicked on it, but I didn't. For those of you that know, on a Wednesday, the Wednesday version of Harmonize to Energize is the mystery storyteller. And I continue to invite all of you who have interesting or inspiring stories, or, stories that you think you learned a lot from. Someone said to me, it depends what you mean by inspiring, or something that you felt was interesting and that might interest others. And then go ahead, right ahead. And yes, Elizabeth, these flows would help with blood pressure. And you didn't hear me the first time. You're all welcome to send me a little, a précis summary of any story. And there can be more than one. We had a Del Lee's on last Wednesday. We've had several people on already with splendiferous stories, and they can be about animals, plants, human beings, human doings. And just we can share with the community throughout the world, and maybe we learn something. And I must remind myself to say this at the beginning. These flows are never a replacement for any kind of medical attention or medical advice. We do these to complement medical health and advice, and they often can be used for all kinds of projects. So without further ado, I will leave you all. It's not always easy to be so kneesy. Yeah, sometimes when you hold your kneesy, you can actually feel like sneezing because of, the movement of energy through the kidney bladder flow, which goes through the kneesies too. And, a sneezy is a good sign that a kneesy has been released via the kidney and bladder. So without further ado, wishing you all well for the rest of the day and weekend week until next Wednesday at least, when I'll be here at least, and a mystery storyteller will be with me, someone that you may or may not know, and they will be sharing with us their stories. And of course, the Friday continues on and on and on, as it were. So, blessed be, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Take care, and it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him.